What is up, bros and broettes? I'm M16 and today we are talking about one of the worst weapons in the game. The M16, the Fail 16, whatever you want to call it, but this gun is not good. And originally, when I first started looking at these stats, I was psyched. I'm like, oh my god, this thing is going to be amazing. And there is one stat on this gun that makes it next to unusable. It is so ridiculously bad, but we're going to talk about it today, and I do strongly think that this gun is going to be getting buffed really soon, so stay tuned for that, and as soon as it happens, I will hopefully make a video for it so you guys can see what is going on with this bad boy. So, to start off, let's go ahead and look at the damage. So we got 40 damage up close, 30 at mid-range, and 20 at long range. However, when I was talking about the bad stat about this gun, it is the range, and pretty much no matter where you are on the map, you are going to be getting that 20 damage. I think it drops off at about 8 meters, which is the same one-shot kill range as most shotguns. So if you're out of the one-shot kill range for shotguns, you're going to be looking at over a 3-bullet kill. Just look at it that way. That is the best way to look at it. Now, on top of that, the iron sights are really bad for this gun, but that's not a horrible thing. Like, if we look at weapons like the HBRA3, I know some of you weirdos out there, you actually like those iron sights, and I don't know how you possibly do. We've been over this. Looks like a small child's butthole. But some of you weirdos out there like that kind of thing. So these ones are even worse than that. So a red dot sight is absolutely needed. We'll be talking about the best class setup for this thing later on. But the next thing I want to talk about is it's rare. Very rare to get a one-burst kill with this thing. Like, extremely rare. So you're always going to want to expect to shoot another burst at whoever you are shooting at. Just plan on getting another burst on them, and sometimes even 3. Now, to do this, you need to account for the fire rate, and the fire rate for this thing is 720 RPM. Actually a decent fire rate. It's a bit slow for an assault rifle in Advanced Warfare, but it's usable, especially with a high damage. Unfortunately, this high damage also comes with a very bad range. But one more problem with this gun. It's not the fire rate. The fire rate is fine. It's the burst delay. It's a 0.3 second burst delay. That is horrible. I know it doesn't seem bad. 0.3 seconds seems like a pretty short period of time, but when you compare that to other guns, we got 0.1 second for all assault rifles that are burst weapons and 0.05 seconds for the AMR9. Makes sense because it's an SMG. You should have a shorter burst delay. Makes sense. I'm not complaining about that whatsoever. But 0.3 seconds is huge, absolutely huge, and it actually ruins that fire rate if you really do some math and account for it. But huge burst delay. So expect to wait time upon time to shoot those next bursts out of this gun. Now, one thing Drifter said that really hit home is that with this weapon, you are expected to have a huge time to kill, over a second. Reason being, first of all, you're going to have to fire more than one burst. Second of all, it's a pretty slow fire rate. Third of all, there is a very long burst delay. And fourth of all, one thing we haven't talked about yet is the aim down sights time is 350 milliseconds, which is actually one of the most for all the assault rifles. It's the same as the AK-47, but is more than all, including the BAL, including the AK-12, including the ARX. It's 100 milliseconds slower than all of those weapons, which is very bad. Now, to redeem all of this, the one redeeming factor is that it has a fast reload time, but let's be honest, that's really not that important. So, overall, this gun is pretty much unusable right now. If you want to set up a class for this thing, you're going to need things that basically speed up the way this thing kills. So, you definitely need that red dot sight. Unfortunately, it's unavoidable how much needed it is. On top of that, I definitely recommend a quick draw, and then on top of that, you're going to want to use that foregrip just to stay on target. The recoil really isn't that bad for this gun, but foregrip is pretty much needed on most assault rifles, I think, in this game. So, foregrip, quick draw, red dot sight, low profile, lightweight, blast suppressor, toughness. There's your class, and hopefully that'll help you out just a little bit. But one thing I'd like to quickly say, do not use a silencer on this thing. The range is bad enough as it is. You don't need to make it any worse. So, those are all the tips and tricks for you I've got for the M16. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button. Check me out on Twitch and Twitter. Link in the description. Subscribe to my second channel, and subscribe to this channel to join the Ink Army. And until next time, guys.